Today, I'm going to show you exactly how we planned and executed our Girls in Business conference in 2025. It's an 800-person event and it took 10 months to plan and one incredible day to deliver. So I'm going to break down my entire process from the initial idea to the final wrap up. And if you are thinking about running your own event, launching a conference, or maybe you just want to see what goes behind the scenes at creating something this scale, this video is going to give you the complete roadmap of exactly what we did to make it happen. So this year we successfully hosted 800 people. We also coordinated a bunch of high profile speakers. We had 800 custom goodie bags and we created an event that people are still talking about weeks later. So we've actually been running this conference for years now and we've refined this process to a science, but in saying that, things can still go wrong, so we're always still learning. So here's exactly what I'm going to teach you. First, I'm going to show you our planning framework, and this is how we structure the entire project from about 10 months out. And I'm going to walk you through my speaker acquisition and venue selection process. Next, we'll cover the logistics, including how we handled 800 goodie bags and also managed the day-to-day operations. And finally, I'm going to show you how we executed flawlessly on the event day. So I'll give you a little bit of backstory, take you back to where this all began. So when I started my entrepreneurial journey, I was 22 years old. I was that girl working out of a spare room, shipping products from my garage, trying to figure out everything on my own. And I remember just waking up some days feeling so isolated in those early days. I'd see all these successful male entrepreneurs with their networks, their masterminds, and I was just thinking to myself, where are all the women? Where were the role models who look like me, who understood the unique challenges that we face as female business owners? And plus, I'm a girl's girl, so I just want to be around women. Now, I realized there was this massive gap in New Zealand. We had all these incredible women building amazing businesses, but they were all just doing it solo. So there was no central place for us to come together, learn from each other, and build those crucial connections. So I made this decision. I was going to create it. And that's how Girls in Business was born. So not just as an event, but as a movement to elevate women in business across New Zealand. So our very first event all those years ago was held at a cafe, and look at us now. Step one, building our event dream team. So let me introduce you to the woman who makes all of this possible. It is my lovely team member, Nadine, who is the event lead for Girls in Business. I would say she's probably my right-hand man, or woman in this case. And I couldn't do any of this without Nadine. So while I'm the face you see on stage, she is the mastermind behind all the planning and all the operations. Now, we plan everything together, and neither of us have qualifications in event management, but we just make it work. She turns my crazy ideas into reality. So here is our 10-month planning framework. The biggest mistake people make with events is not starting early enough. So this is the exact timeline that Nadine and I use for planning a conference of this size. So in months 1 and 2, this is sort of the foundation phase. Nadine and I, we start off by establishing the core concept and also the date together. So we'll sit down and we'll ask 3 key questions. What problem are we solving? Who exactly is our target audience? And what sort of transformation do we want the attendees to have? What sort of experience do we want them to experience? Now, once we've locked in a date and the venue, then we can sort of plan everything around those. So those are the key things to lock in from the get-go. Now, months 3 and 4 is the infrastructure phase. So this is where we lock in the sponsors, the speakers. We also generally have a bunch of stalls out in the foyer where brands can do activations and sell products and interact with the guests. So we try to lock in those then too. Now, when it comes to picking speakers, we try to consider things like diversity. How well known the person or the business is there anyone topical or well known at the moment, or anybody that will have a really big impact to our audience? Now, in months 5 to 6, this is our execution phase. Now, this next phase is where our partnership really shows. So while I focus on content and marketing, Nadine handles all the logistics and the details that make or break the experience. So we're in constant communication at this stage, and we're just making sure that every piece is going to fit together perfectly. Now, months 6 to 8 are the final details. So our tickets generally go live 4 to 5 months in advance, and we usually sell out in 1 or 2 months. We've built up this email database of attendees using Klaviyo, and generally they're the first to know whenever we have a new event. And we also run a really small amount of ads on Meta, so on Instagram and Facebook, just until our tickets sell out, and then we turn them off. Now, in months 9 to 10, these are sort of the final couple of months. We are packing goodie bags, finalizing the schedule for the day. organizing the food, the workbook, some spot prizes, any entertainment. So some years we have over 20,000 individual items to pack into those goodie bags, and this can take my team up to a week to pack. So step number 2, how we secure the perfect venue and speakers. So Nadine and I have a very specific criteria for choosing venues, and we never compromise on those standards. So firstly, the capacity. We need space for 800 people plus networking areas. Secondly, the location. So we want to make sure that it is accessible by public transport or have some sort of parking. And third, of course, the most important is the vibe. So it has to feel inspiring. It has to have wow factor, not corporate, not stuffy, because I just don't do boring. It really has to be an experience. And we go and visit every venue together. So while I'm thinking about the attendee experience and the energy, Nadine is checking things like the acoustics. She's checking the lighting. She's asking those technical questions that I probably wouldn't have thought of. So for Girls in Business 2025, we chose Auckland's Viaduct Event Centre. It is one of the largest conference spaces available in the country, and we filled the entire venue to capacity. Now, the moment Nadine and we walked in, we looked at each other and we just knew, we were like, this is it. So the space had this really perfect balance of professionalism and also these incredible views that would energize our attendees. So that's what we do for the venue. Now, when it comes to a speaker acquisition strategy, we again try to think of the experience of the people that are going to be there on the day. So here's our process. We create a speaker matrix with different business stages, industries, and story types. We want somebody starting out, someone scaling, and somebody who's already exited. Now, for 2025, we secured this incredible lineup. We had Lorna Jane Clarkson, the founder of Activewear, the founder of Lorna Jane Activewear, and we flew her in from Australia. We also had a bunch of other really incredible speakers. We had people in property, media, fashion, entertainment, tech, charity, e-commerce, FMCG. And each one of our speakers represents a different stage of business and all these different industries. So we wanted our attendees to see themselves reflected in our speakers and also understand that success can come in many different forms. So step number 3 is our logistics systems, including our crazy goodie bag operation. So let me show you how we turn goodie bags into a marketing and partnership opportunity. Most conferences, they just throw random branded pens in a bag, maybe get a workbook, but here is our process. So we reach out to brands months in advance for a partnership proposal, offering them access to 800 potential customers who are their target market. So we come up with the sponsorship booklet. Now, for the 800 goodie bags, there's usually 15 to 30 items in each goodie bag. So that is 20,000 individual products to organize, and this is how we systemize it. So in week 1, all of the products arrive, and they generally all get put in my garage. I've got a pretty large garage. Now, weeks 2 to 3, we create this assembly line system. So each of my team members handles 2 to 3 products, and bags move down the line. And week 4, we do the final packing and quality control and get all those goodie bags packed for you guys. So step number 4 is how to execute flawlessly on event day. So this is my day of timeline. So our team arrives at 6 a.m. for the setup. We've got a really detailed run sheet with every single task, and it's all assigned to specific people so that everyone knows what they're doing. There are final sound checks, there are lighting checks with the AV team, and they also check the microphones, the clicker. Now at 7 a.m., the team gets a briefing, so everyone knows their role, everyone has the backup plan, they all know how to handle common issues. And also all of the stall holders come in to set up their activations. Now at 9 a.m., the doors open, we start letting in guests, we start scanning tickets, and I'm in hair and makeup with the other speakers. Now, when it comes to managing 800 people, here's how we handle the crowd flow. So we try to do staggered breaks throughout the event, and that's sort of to prevent the bathroom queues. We also have multiple coffee stations, we've got photo areas, we've got stalls scattered around the venue, and that's all just to avoid bottlenecks. We have really clear signage everywhere, so people shouldn't have to ask where things are. And I also have team members positioned throughout the venue as human GPS systems to just help out with directions and questions if anyone has any. When it comes to speaker management, a member of my team is going to keep in touch with all of the speakers just to make sure they know where they are at all times, when they should be getting mic'd up, and when they should be coming up onto the stage. And the energy management, so this is the secret sauce. We actively manage the room's energy. So we generally put high energy speakers after lunch or at the end of the day, because this is when everyone sort of gets a bit tired, it's been a long day. And we also make sure we throw in some interactive elements like a fashion show or a dance performance just scattered throughout the day just to keep it fun. Now, this year we had an amazing fashion show from Catherine Wilson and also a dance performance by Neverland Studios. Now, if you want to run your own event, I would just recommend starting off small. My first event was at a cafe, and each year we've just scaled up bigger and bigger and bigger. So this year, even the news came and covered the event for a female empowerment segment, which was a little bit of a surprise. No one told me they were going to be there. So if you are a woman in business and want to attend next year's Girls in Business Conference, make sure to click the link in the description and register to be notified for next year's event. And if you want to learn more about building and scaling your own business, whether that's events or products or services or digital products, I'm going to link my business training in the description, and I will teach you the exact systems that I use to build any business pretty quickly. So drop a comment if you're planning your own event, and I would love to hear what you're working on.